internet, and welcome to another episode of The Forgotten here on Game Nights. I am your host and your dungeon master for the evening, Savvy, and we're here to play some Dungeons and Dragons, one of our favorite games. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Before we get started here, I'll tell you a little bit about what we got going on the channel this week. For the rest of the week, we should have our regularly scheduled shows going down. We got Tabletop Tuesdays tomorrow. Hopefully, we're crossing our fingers that the Squire Squad is going to come back. Our GM Alex has been sick, but he's been feeling better, so hopefully we'll have some more masks for you tomorrow. Keep an eye on our Twitter and Discord. We'll let you know for sure tomorrow. Other than that, we've got Elegant Creatures on Thursday night, Neon Souls Friday night, Saturday night's Mistborn on Saturday, and another episode of the other show that I run here, Slaying 201, on Sunday. For all of those days and times and stuff, if you are live with us on Twitch, you can see our schedule down below our faces on our drop page. If you're with us in the future on YouTube, hello, subscribe while you're here. It helps us out a lot. You get notifications when we post stuff. You can see our schedule on our Twitch page, also on our Twitter, and also pinned to our Discord as well. We tweet and we post whenever we go live, so you can come hang out with us. I don't think I have any special announcements. We've been talking about it throughout the week. Starting next week, we are going to have some cancellations on the channel again. Val and I are moving, so it's going to be kind of hit or miss for a week or so there, whether or not we're able to stream, but it shouldn't be more than a week or two tops. And we'll be back to our regularly scheduled stuff soon enough, but you got us this week, so enjoy it. I think that's my only other announcement. As you can see, Morgan is not with us tonight. She's not feeling well. We hope she gets better soon, and we miss her. But she will be back with us next time we play, unless something else happens. I can't predict the future, but assuming everyone's fine, next time we get together, she will be back. But I'm going to let the rest of my cast here introduce themselves, tell you who they are, where you can find them on the internets, and who they are playing tonight, starting with Sid.
Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the Twitters at Greek Sid, generally talking about the shenanigans here. Savvy mentioned the Thursday game that I hate to say that I run that game, because that's just false. Like, no one runs that game. I facilitate that game. It's Elegant Creatures. It's Urban Shadows with everything we love about Good Society thrown in. It's bananas, but check that out. Thursdays, 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm also here on Mondays, on Fridays, every other Saturday, and Sundays. Tonight I'm playing Marta. Marta is a Firbolg Pact of the Tome Warlock.
That she is. Next up, I'm so thrown off, so I don't know if our order is the same or not. Next up is Sam.
Hey everybody, my name is Sam. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Smackaroni on Twitter, Instagram, really kind of wherever. I am currently here on Mondays and Fridays, playing in Neon Souls on Fridays and The Forgotten here on Mondays. It's super fun. I don't have anything else going on right now because life. Currently I am playing Gladness, the Tiefling Bard, who is School of Lore, and got really upset about that last session because nobody would let him tell a story.
That poor guy. He's just out here doing his best. And last but certainly not least, Val.
Hello everybody, I'm Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown on Twitter and Twitch. I'm here Thursdays through Mondays playing and running games. You can see me running Neon Souls on Fridays in our Fate sci-fi swashbuckling adventure. We'll have a session of that this week, and then on Saturday I run Saturday Night's Star Power, where you play another Fate game, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure inspired setting, and off weeks from that, which this week will be Saturday night's Mistborn. We're playing the Mistborn RPG based on the novels by Brandon Sanderson. So come hang out and join us for those. They're all a lot of fun. But tonight I will be playing Pod, who is a Kobold Soul Knife rogue.
Wonderful. And that is our cast for the evening. You know me, I'm Savvy. I'm at Savvy Seaworth. You can find my schedule on my Twitter. And I am your dungeon master this evening. Your monster of ceremonies, your wearer of many hats and many more wigs. You guys ready to play Dungeons and Dragons? All right. I didn't write a recap. And I wish I had a good reason, but the reason is I forgot. So this will not be a clean take. But fortunately for me, not too much stuff happened last time. It was a few sort of big points. So last time we started out as you all were leaving the party at the Bell Estate. Escorted, I don't know if escorted is the right word, but along with your new friend and favorite blackmailer, Iana, who has yet to reveal her face to you. You went to a bar for a while. Marta had a nice conversation with Baz, who had some wine and gave her some semblance of a clue towards her ultimate goal, which is to help out the heart of the forest, way back in her village. So we'll see where that takes us. It was kind of a clue. That's my best guess at a clue. After that, you took off for the Carlin estate, so Leo could say goodbye to her family as you were getting ready to hit the road. Shenanigans ensued. Leo's brother Aaron was kind of a dick to like half of you. And I think some of you gave as good as you got, which is good. Pod, in particular, made it into Oron's room and stole a copy of his band's Treasury of Dragons out of his backpack. But this copy, unlike the copy Pod had stolen before, was marked up with notes and locations and things like that. So he replaced Oron's copy with a clean copy and took it with him. You said your goodbyes. You spent the night, got some good sleep, and the next morning set off to the caravan outpost in the north of Baldur's Gate, where you met your caravan driver, the man of few words, whose name I did not write down because I made it up in the middle of the session. If anybody remembers, you will get a bonus point. 1 HP to anyone who can tell me the name of the man driving your wagon. And you set off. You traveled for a couple of days up into the Fields of the Dead, is what they are called, where Gladness attempted to relay some, what I think, and what he seems to also think, is very interesting lore and stories of the many battles and other things that happened, that were fought in the Fields of the Dead, and why it is generally covered in cairns, and why the farmers who dare to farm there still dig up bones from time to time. Nobody else really gave a shit, so you continued on. A couple of days into the journey, you all noticed up ahead of you a big scary shadow of a thing, and then a second, slightly smaller but still pretty big, scary shadow of a thing as 2 dragons made of bone with glowing sort of blue flame within their chest cavities and their rib cages flew over and proceeded to demolish the front 2 wagons of your caravan, their cargo and riders along with them. And then the larger of the 2 dragons flew off over the mountains north of you, leaving the younger one to be kind of a nasty boy. and try to eat you. And we had to leave off part of the way through that battle. So that is where we're going to pick back up. Not spooky music. This is not the time for spooky music, Spotify. This is the time for my favorite Dark Fantasy Studio song, Facing the Dragon. So we are going to, chat says Marcus. Is it Marcus? Does that sound right?
The M sounds right. I don't remember if it was Marcus. M is on the right track, though.
Well, here's the thing. His name is now Marcus. G, you get a bonus hit point. Congratulations.
Look at you, G.
You've done it.
You've got
And if that wasn't his name, you just were free to name an NPC, I guess. Congratulations. You've done it. Marcus feels right.
You have a fourth as many GP as Leo right now.
She's not doing good. We'll stick with Marcus. If anybody comes across it or thinks of a name they like better than Marcus, we can use that, but we'll call him Marcus for now. So we're going to pick up where we left off part of the way through the round. It would be Leo's turn. Leo, who took an extremely nasty hit from this dragon just seconds ago. You see blood start to pool around her feet. I don't remember if it was the claws or the teeth. They're both very sharp. As the dragon releases her and sort of steps back, you see her kind of look around and her eyes kind of flutter and she starts to fall. There beside her, in the midst of the battle, scoop her up in his large blue arms, is Langdedrosa, who sort of takes a knee, kind of slides in. This is a good start. Sam's already mad at me. Slides in, sort of puts an arm underneath her, catches her, sort of looks to all the two of you and kind of shout, or all of the three of you, sort of shouts something vaguely about getting her to safety and that he'll be right back, and sort of just scoops her up and ducks down behind some of the other wagons in the caravan to sort of get her out of the way. Morgan's not here, so I'm not gonna kill her character with a dragon because I would be an asshole if I did that.
Are we all wearing our disguises right now?
The assumption was yes. So, and
I hope he doesn't recognize her pheromones or we're in trouble. All right.
And he's not the smartest boy. He's just better at other things. So that would be Leo's turn. I'm going to... Sorry, go ahead.
I said which things?
Muscles. Yelling. Sword.
I can infer things from that.
I'm going to replace Leo in initiative with Langdedrosa in case it gets back around. Want to sort. Go, go, go. That would be her turn. So, Marta.
Oh boy.
So the dragon is still on the ground.
Okay.
Sort of in the middle of all this chaos.
Wonderful. Well, let's do big one. Why the fuck not? Any way to get let's see, 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point of my choice. Okay. Marta's going to find a way, maybe over the dragon, but somewhere where she could get a 10-foot radius sphere that only hits the dragon.
Okay. Yeah, it's large. So I think probably like over top of it and like over like its back is plenty of space.
Okay.
for that. So just kind of like center mass on that guy. What you got?
Yeah. She'll cast. She'll take a little rock out of her pocket and like bite it in her teeth, and then she'll cast Shatter.
Nice. That's a con save.
That is a Constitution save. Yep.
Okay, he's gonna make a save. That's a 23.
That saves. But they'll still
half.
take half. All right. 3.
Now I know it's got a thing where it can do extra damage. That's to things that are made of like what, like crystal?
That are in
Stuff, right?
organic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal would have disadvantage on the saving throw.
Yeah, I think bones is organic.
Yeah?
Sam, you're a scientist. Is bones organic?
So no.
That's okay.
Nothing living has bones.
Bones aren't real.
5.
You heard it here first.
Bones, not a real thing. So that's a 14. So half of that would be 7.
Wonderful. As you let off this terrible sort of ear-piercing sound, you can see the bones of the dragon start to shake, and a couple of them kind of separate a little bit, and then it kind of starts to pull itself back together. Anything else?
Yeah. Also, get away again.
Back it up. All right. Use your movement to scamper away from said dragon. Gladness.
All right.
What you got?
So I saw Lendrick Josa pick up Leo, who had fallen unconscious after getting bitten almost in half by a dragon. I'm gonna cast Heartache. So Heartache is, you force an enemy to experience pangs of unrequited love and emotional distress. I'm going to use my own. These feelings manifest with such intensity that the creature takes 5d6 psychic damage on a failed charisma throw and half on a succeeded throw.
Okay.
Yep.
Da. Saving throw, saving
No! Oh wait, I don't have to do anything for rolling to hit.
throw. What's your DC?
My spell save DC is 13.
Okay, it rolled 12.
Ah, okay. Cool. Let's see what I do. So, let's see. Oh boy. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage.
Okay, it's gonna take the full brunt of that. What this spell look like?
So
You sing a sad song at the dragon.
Essentially. He's
I like
going
that.
to, it's like he's gonna recite a lyric, not like an entire song, but recite a lyric really sadly. Do I have to, let me see if there's any like VSM.
Heartache. I like this spell a lot.
It's such a cool spell. So he's going to recite a sad lyric, and he's going to rip a page out of his journal, crumple it, and grind it under his foot as like a component. It doesn't have a component to this spell, but he's doing it.
You can make up your own components.
I'm making up my own component!
Do it. I love it. I'm all about it. Yeah, you do this, and there is sort of this pulse of psychic energy that you let out towards the dragon, and you see it sort of like rear back its head, and it lets out this. It's not really a shriek. There is some pitch to it, but it is more just the terrible sound of like bones grinding together. So you get that like nails on the chalkboard kind of sound coming out of it. It's very unpleasant. Yeah. Anything else?
I'm crying now, but other than that, no.
Okay. Crying is a free action. It's the dragon's turn. It's gonna roll to see if it gets its breath weapon back. Uh-oh. it sort of scrambles back and again sort of takes in this like rattling breath and exhales some blue radiant flames toward y'all. How spread out are y'all? I should have asked that before. Because Pod is away.
Yes,
I
Pod.
thought you had hidden.
All hiding.
You said all sort of scattered to the wind, I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Gladness, you just yelled a bean song at it.
Yeah, so it's
So it's gonna sort of exhale, kind of turning its head, and it's gonna catch you, and it's also going to catch one of the carts that is behind you. I'm gonna say the person who would have been next closest is probably Marta. So I'm gonna have the two of you make a dexterity saving throw. That is a face. Okay.
11.
11
3.
and a 3.
I know I
Those
didn't
are
save.
both
Yeah.
failures.
That's good.
Those are both failures.
Goodbye, friends.
That is 25.
Oh, I'm down.
Marta is unconscious.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm alone.
25 radiant damage as the flames sort of lick around you, Gladness, and sort of over the cart. The cart it's not set aflame. It is more like just the force and the heat from this sort of just carves a huge chunk right out of the side. Marta sort of finding you where you were trying to get away, catching you as well. And Pod, from your hiding spot, you have seen Leo be scooped up and hidden, and you see Marta and Gladness fall. That is the dragon's turn. Pod, it is your turn.
I've used my one healing potion.
Marta has another one in her bag.
I was gonna say, you did I will give you, when you got them, you did specifically pass them out and say, we're putting them in this.
I have 3.
Actually, I have 4.
Why?
Bought more.
So you guys, so if you
No,
go,
This is why I don't share gold with y'all.
if you go in any of their bags, Pod's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Okay, so here's my question. How bad do bone look?
Bone, compared to where it started, Bone looked pretty rough. The dragon is, I think you can see like some of its like rib bones have been like blasted out or like sort of broken. And there are places like when it sort of moves, you can see its joints kind of like separating. So it's not great. It's not having a good time either.
Okay, I'm
This is
gonna
a
be
baby
annoying
bone.
and just ask 2 more questions. One, is it near anybody or anything at this point, or is it kind of just like doing its own thing, hanging out?
It has backed up a little bit, enough to sort of be able to catch everybody in this cone. It's like nobody's in melee with it
Okay,
currently, but it's kind of like in the middle of the road.
okay. No like big suspicious barrels of flammable material or something that it happens to be hovering over.
No, it's on the ground.
Can I spend a fate point to make that?
Those don't exist here.
Okay. Damn, wrong game.
You'd have to pray for that in Dungeons and Dragons, I think.
Well, I have a -1 in prayer. Yeah, Pod's not gonna solo this thing. Okay, I'm gonna use my bonus action to hide, to try to make sure to sneak essentially.
Okay.
And try to sneak over to Marta. Is her turn.
Also, Marta has 4 regular healing potions and 1 greater healing potion.
You guys did buy some. That's what happened, I think.
Yeah.
I think when we were shopping, you bought some.
Okay.
It feels like that was 17 years ago.
Do I do this? I was either debating this or drinking my potion of speed, but I'm holding off on the potion of speed till I don't know what. So yeah, is gonna go over to.
Okay. Roll stealth since you're hiding.
Pod's very thrifty and wants to use this potion for something bigger than a little baby bone dragon.
He's just a little guy.
I have advantage. That's right. Okay, sorry, I had to read that. So 22.
Okay, yeah, you sort of continuing behind the wagon, kind of crawl underneath it, wait until the dragon has turned its head, and you make your way over to Marta. Doesn't seem like it notices you in the chaos.
I want to try to just like flipping her off of her bag and trying to root around for a potion.
There are several.
What the hell?
You were
What?
with them when they were shopping.
You were with her when she was shopping.
You were there.
Takes out 2 of the regular healing potions and feeds 1 to Marta.
Okay, so Marta, you can roll, what's the regular, 2d4 plus 2?
That sounds right. 2d4 plus
I think
2.
that's right. I think it's 2d4 plus 2, 44 plus 4. I think it goes up from there.
Yeah.
3, 4 is 7 plus 2. I got 9 hit points.
You can heal 9 as you dump the potion down Marta's throat. Marta, your eyes open and you are flat on your back in the dirt.
I don't like these dragons.
Yeah, just stay down for right now, okay?
Okay.
And that's probably going to be it for Pod's turn, but starts sneaking over to where Glad is.
Okay.
Unconscious.
Yeah, you sort of duck behind the busted wagon and try to get a little closer to Gladness. We don't have to talk about it right now because I'm famous for derailing my own shit. Somebody remind me later that I want us all to collectively decide what healing potion tastes like.
Go, Gert.
Because I don't want to talk about it right now. I want
Okay,
us to
we'll talk
have a
about it later.
legitimate discussion about it, but also we can add Gogurt as a possibility.
Robitussin.
Blech.
It's gotta be earthier than that. It's gotta taste like tea, but like not good tea.
Robitussin with dirt in it.
You know, as soon as you asked us to not have this conversation, right now.
Everybody, because you all, I say something and you all just immediately start talking. I want you to think about it. I want you all to think about it, and I want you to come to me with your best option, and then we're gonna vote on them. I can't help. I went to describe like what Marta was experiencing, and I was gonna say something about what it tastes like, and I was like, I have no fucking idea. I don't want to say that for you guys. All right, Pod, that's your turn. And you all hear a loud, sort of half shout, half roar, with a little bit of laughter mixed in, as your big blue friend, Longdedrosa, comes charging into the fray with his greatsword, now repaired, drawn, and runs at the dragon to try to help. He gets 2 attacks. He's gonna roll pretty good, buddy. So the first swing connects sort of on the side of the dragon's neck, and you hear it sort of make that that rattling, like gasping sound again. And the second one, it is ready for and sort of moves its head out of the way, so he can't strike it a second time. But he does help. Good job. I will not belabor his turn. Marta.
Let's see. Does it take a full action to get another spell from your Rod of the Pact Keeper?
What a good question. I don't remember how they work.
Yes, one additional spell slot as an action. Fuck, I lost my hex too because I went unconscious.
Yes.
Fuck it. Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Roll your attack. Attacks? Do you have?
Pew, pew.
Do you have more than one?
Nah, not yet. Not till 5th level, yeah.
I'm imagining this from Pod's perspective. Goes over, gets her up, stay down, moves away, and then she gets up and turns back.
Immediately starts shooting.
Pretty much. That's an 18.
That just hits.
Whoo! Okay. So that's a D10. And that's a 10. 10.10 force damage.
Okay. You let off this blast, refusing to follow Pod's instructions.
I like to think like the blast of radiant energy like does the thing where like the grenade goes off and like you don't really hear very well. So everything was just really fuzzy, and she just saw Pod's like mouth moving like, "Mama, no, I'm good, thanks," and then just started shooting.
Just started blasting. I love it. Yeah, so you get up and you let off this blast, and the force strikes the dragon sort of to the side of its like head and neck, and you see several more of these bones sort of fall, and it actually chips a piece off of like its jawbone. It's looking real rough, you guys. Anything else? That's your action.
No, what's my action? I don't know if I have anything I can do on a bonus action. Yeah, hide again.
Okay, yeah, you back up some more, sort of slide around the busted cart to try to stay out of the way. Gladness. My boy.
I gotta roll a death save.
Please make a death save.
do.
Again, for the third time I have to
I'm
do this.
sorry.
We got you, Glad.
I don't know why
That's
this
a
keeps,
fail.
I don't know why this keeps happening, specifically the Gladness. Okay.
I rolled a
yeah.
5.
Mark 1 failure. It
Whew.
is
Whew.
Dragon's turn. I think this one might be for all of the marbles. Potted doesn't know where you are.
I can't. I mean, unless it's a very good perception.
And Marta, it thought was dead and has moved. I'm gonna have it roll to try to. No, there's a bunch of other people running around. It is going to, for its turn, sort of lumber its way up the road some, and you see it just swipe one claw out at one of the wagons, overturning it and kind of sending it and its contents flying. And then one of the merchants who was super not able to get out of the way in time as his wagon is sort of flipped out from under him, tries to get up off the ground, and you all, well, two of you, Gladness, you don't see this, but the other two of you see the dragon just sort of reach down with its jaws, just clamp around this guy and just shake him like a dog with a toy, and just flings him. And he goes flying like a rag doll sort of across the field and lands with a crunch. Pod.
You said this thing's looking really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. I got Glad. You do it. Do it.
Yeah, it looks
Do
like
it.
Okay. Pod is like moving up towards Glad, sees like a bunch of people getting like just massacred by this thing. Just to continue to go, just like fuck.
Just slow-mo sees Marta going, do it.
Yeah, Pod is going to I'm gonna try to do this with a little bit of flair. I think Pod just runs up to like one of the half like the overturned cart, and like imagining like a ramp like running up the back of it, reaches the top and just hurls two of the psychic blades at this thing.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Okay, so I have advantage because I was attacking from being hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I imagine there's a ton of people around it.
Your big dragon
that's a
buddies
natural
right
20.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll. I only have 1d6 with me, so I'm just gonna roll that here. So that'll be 66 plus 4.
I thought you said 66. I was like, there's no way you're
I'm not
lying.
there yet. It's 25 points of psychic damage
How do?
on the first attack. Okay.
It did
Yeah,
not have that many.
I think Pod just like leaps off the top of this thing. You see two of these kind of translucent purplish psychic blades forming in his hand, and just chucks them. I imagine they're doing the thing where they kind of cross in the air like spinning, and they kind of curve in an arc, and then they both slam into the sides of the opposite sides of the dragon's head at the same time.
All right, and as they do, it lets out one final rattling sort of croak, and the dragon falls to the dirt.
Pod hits the ground in a roll, and then Cat gets on his feet, and then immediately starts running back to Glad.
Marta starts running toward Glad.
You both make it over there. I assume
Spare the
someone-
dying, and then get a potion in him.
All right, to a regular potion.
Yeah.
All right, Gladness, you roll me 2d4 plus 2.
I take 2 potions off.
7 hit point.
Woo!
7 hit points. And Gladness, you open your eyes, and you also find yourself on your back in the dirt and the dust.
Nobody
you
saw
did
that.
good. You
Nobody
did
saw
real
that,
good.
right?
Watched you sing a real sad song. No, that was good.
No, not that part.
I think a lot of people were more concerned with either fighting or dying. I'll be right back. I'm gonna make sure all these people don't die.
That
Marta's
makes
gonna
sense.
run around just like running toward the field, like anyone's alive. Spare the dying. Spare the dying. Spare the dying. Yeah. Stabilize.
There are some people who are beyond saving, but those that are, you are able to spare them. There are a couple of healers that are sort of going around, making sure people aren't going to be permanently scarred or anything from this. Those that did survive. While Marta is doing this, Gladness and Pod, you hear another sort of rattling sound coming from the body of the dragon. And as it's sort of collapsed to the ground, you see the sound is coming from it essentially breaking apart. And while parts of it stay sort of fused together by whatever magic probably brought it back in the first place, it breaks into 9 separate pieces, and they all sort of fall away onto the ground. So like its head separates from its spine and kind of tumbles forward. It's got 2 sort of big arms, 2 legs that fall apart. Its wings sort of fall and hit the ground with like a loud thud, and its tail as well. And they all just kind of lay there, and it doesn't move again.
I would like to add that Gladness screams and scrambles back in the dirt because he thought it was still moving.
That's a fair reaction, I think.
Pod just sort of looms over Gladness, sneaking up behind. You did it again.
Ah! Did what?
You passed out.
It's not my fault.
It happens a lot.
Maybe if I wasn't the first one to always be in front, as, you know, the person who tells stories and plays music, maybe I wouldn't pass out as much.
Then maybe you should think about why you keep doing that.
I don't. We don't got to do this right now.
And scampers over to the dragon.
Okay.
Gus just sits there like thinking about that.
Okay, Pod, you make your way over to the dragon.
Starts just wants to kind of give it a once over. Maybe has the book out and flipping around to see if you can figure out what this thing is.
Okay. I need you to roll Arcana for this guy. I will give you advantage because of the book.
I will take the book advantage. God, I'm rolling so much better today. 18.
Okay. Yeah. So you flip through the book, remembering a couple of notes that just kind of stuck in your brain when you were flipping through it from before, and you flip to a page that has not exactly the same creature, but a similar looking one. It's sort of a rough sketch that's been printed into this book in the form of a dragon, but made of bones. It is called by Fizban a hollow dragon. You sort of read through the passage a little bit. They can come to be in a number of ways, usually through some sort of very, very complicated magic. But you have to have gotten your hands on a dead dragon first. They don't just spring out of nowhere. I think the most interesting piece that you pull from this is one sort of one anecdote in which a similar creature was defeated and then showed back up a week later. Fizban postulates that there is some kind of magic that connects the different pieces of the dragon's body, and if they stay within a certain distance of each other, after about a week, the pieces will find each other again and put themselves back together.
Huh. Closes book. Puts it in bag. Experiments with trying to pull the head away from the rest of the body. Sees how heavy it is.
It's very heavy.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna see Pod doing that. Pod?
That's a lot heavier than it looks.
What you doing?
We need to get the pieces away from each other.
Mm-hmm. And how do you know that?
Book.
Book. You read books.
Yeah, I read books. Do you think I couldn't read?
I didn't think you couldn't read. I just kind of didn't think you were the literary type.
That's offensive.
No, just your personality.
Wait, their personality is offensive, or
No.
Wait, you think my personality is offensive?
No, I think your personality is not a very literary one.
So you think I'm illiterate?
No, I didn't think that I didn't say you're illiterate. I just don't think that you're the type that would like sit down with a good novel.
While you're having this conversation, Marta comes up, sees you struggling, and just like picks it up. What are you doing?
We need to get the
Moving bones?
pieces away from each other.
Oh, okay. I'll take this one over there. She runs off.
How far do you go?
Like 60 feet. Just like runs off away from the group.
Wait.
What?
Why don't we just take the head with us?
Oh, like
Okay.
just the head?
Yeah, I mean, what's it gonna do without a head?
Be a bone body without a head and be very scary.
Is it gonna fit in the cart?
I'm sure we can make room for it.
Yeah, it's just a little guy.
DM, will it fit in the cart?
Sure.
Maybe
Marta
we
will
can
run
sell
back
it.
over to the cart.
Marcus is an expert packer. He has Tetris to this cart.
I'm imagining it.
Plunks the head on.
The
And
dad
Marcus looks
posture.
at you like,
Well, we gotta separate the pieces. So if we put the head in here and then we drive away, we're gonna separate the head from the whole thing. It kind of takes care of itself, you know?
why?
Because if the pieces go back together, then it comes back to life and tries to eat everybody. Your name's Marcus? You sure it's not Geralt?
We kind of just
All right, I'm
saved
gonna-
your life, so I think it's the least you could do.
I'm just gonna start separating all the rest of the pieces. Yeah.
He doesn't stop you. He just sort of looks at you like,
Like this shit again.
I don't
If
pay him
I
enough.
had a silver piece for every time. No.
Toss a coin to your carriage driver, am I right?
Marta will have fun, like running as fast as she can to like pick up all the pieces and throw them around in the field.
Okay. And scatter the rest of the pieces of the dragon. It's got 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 wings, and a tail, and then its big sort of rib cage. I think are the rest of the pieces.
Marta will like take the wings and like pretend she's flying while she runs them away.
It's sort of horrifying to look at, considering they make a terrible racket because they're just bones. Marta's having a great time, I imagine.
Blast.
I kind of just want to take like the head, 1 wing, and 1 of the legs to see if it does form into like a 3-legged, 1-wing, no-headed dragon.
I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with
3
that.
leg, 1 wing, flying purple people.
Sure looks strange to me.
No, you can take 1 piece of it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I had.
Scatter
You
the
only got
rest.
the 1 wagon.
Yeah.
And there is
Oh.
important stuff in what's left of it.
Hold on. No, that would be. I only have 1 of these. I was thinking about just like tying a bell to 1 of the pieces, so in case it did reform, we'd hear it coming.
Stick a clock in it. Stick a clock in the rib cage.
All right, Hook.
All
no,
right.
I'm not gonna do that.
Everyone starts to gather themselves. Leo is okay. Been tended to by somebody with some medical experience. She's gonna ride in the cart for this leg of the adventure. But she's okay. She's conscious and fine. She'll heal over time. She's got a nasty bite, but she'll be okay. Anything else before you hit the road again? Is everybody sort of... I imagine they spend the afternoon. There's a lot of cairns here, as it is, sort of dealing with the dead and sort of cleaning up, getting wheels back on wagons and things like that.
So, are we gonna run into more of those bone things?
There was another one, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a bigger one. Guess we just keep an eye out. I mean, we kind of only have one direction to go, right?
Maybe we have a plan about what to do next time something like this happens, if it happens.
Well, maybe instead of just when we like go sleep, maybe while we're riding, we take turns and someone just watches out for bone dragons. Or just dragons. Or really anything that like looks like it's gonna hurt us.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. Just have whoever's not resting be lookout.
I can take the night shift.
Okay.
I'll sleep in the cart.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and then again, just a hypothetical if we do get attacked again. Distance.
Yeah.
Distance. Cover and distance.
Well, I even tried to do that, but it's still like its breath like was rough.
You're very tall. You need to find something very tall to get behind.
I crouched down. I'll crouch down more.
Just pats her on the knee. Crawls up into the cart.
You take a nap. All right, as everything is sort of put back together, the caravan continues on. You travel for a few more days. Nothing terrible.
Keeping
for the most
watch. Just keeping
Um,
watch.
Y'all are consistently keeping watch. I'm gonna have everybody just roll a perception check.
Oh, we don't have to do a scene, but Pod would have offered to give the other potion back to Marta if she wants it, or he'll hold on to it, whatever she prefers.
Oh, right.
You hold on to it.
Okay. Tuck it back in your bag. And you all continue on through the fields of the dead for quite a long time. It's a big chunk down here. Yeah, and everybody roll perception.
16.
21.
Woo!
Do I do it? No. 10.
Okay. You travel for a couple more days. You obviously camp at some point. You all would have the benefits of the long rest. Since it's been a little bit, a few more days in, as you are traveling, it's like midday, it's sunny, nothing very exciting has happened. I don't know, Pod, are you asleep in the
Yeah, I think Pod would
the
stick
wagon?
to sleeping during the day in the wagon and then keeping watch at night. Pod does better at night anyway, so.
Okay. As you are coming around a bend in the road, I need to note something real quick. Okay. You come along a bend in the road with a hill on one side sort of blocking most of your view. But as you are approaching this bend, Gladness, and Marta, both of you, you see something in the middle of the road. And you look, and it's hard to tell what it is at first. And I think, Gladness, you'd come to this realization before anybody else. About 100 yards ahead of you, sitting in the road, is a head.
Stop the caravan! Stop the caravan right now!
And Gladness starts yelling. Marcus sort of looks back at you, but doesn't really question it, and sort of calls ahead. And as the call sort of goes up through the caravan, everyone stops. A few people are confused and mostly irritated. You've only been traveling for a few hours at this point, and everybody's like, what now?
Look ahead!
I'm looking.
No, there is.
Ahead.
Look ahead. There's a head.
Oh.
What kind of head?
What kind of head?
So it looks human.
Looks human. A person head.
Well, you said this place is like, there's lots of like dead things.
Bones from days past, not like decaying, decapitated heads. That's not a thing.
As you're having this conversation, Marta, you look up and you spot the head, and it's not like lying in the road. It's like upright, like jaw to the dirt.
Waves at it.
Just sits there.
You want me to go get it? I can put with the other head.
No. Don't touch it. Let me. Hey! He shouts at the head.
You shout at the head. I think with a loud shout, you see it move like slightly, kind of shake a little bit.
Shout back!
Does not shout back.
Okay.
Okay, so that's not a dead head. That's like an undead head, right?
I don't know if I want to go as far as undead, but it's not dead.
How many things you know can live without their head?
I don't know if it's without a head. It's just, like, it might be underground.
You think someone buried somebody and left their head out?
No, I think there's a head that's connected to something, but I don't know if it's a body.
I'm gonna go talk to the head.
Pod, there's a lot of shouting.
I'm trying to sleep in here.
Pod, do you want to come with me and talk to this head in the road?
What?
Marta's going ahead to talk to the head that's ahead.
Marta just starts walking up. He keeps her distance.
Pod gets out of the back and
Starts making her way closer.
Marta, you start to make your way through the caravan of people who, a few of who are sort of whispering to themselves, kind of talking back and forth, trying to figure out what's going on. And as you get closer, you do see the head of a human sitting sort of vaguely upright in the middle of the road. Across its forehead, you see like something has been it's writing that has been like scrawled across his forehead.
What's it say?
You get a little bit closer. It says Oathbreaker.
Excuse me? Mr. Oathbreaker head?
You see the head kind of shake again, and its eyes open a little bit. For a head, it looks like it's in pretty bad shape. Sort of sunken cheeks, like lips, like dried, cracked. And he vaguely awake, kind of looks at you.
Hi. Can we help you?
He starts to speak, but there is just this like rasp like that comes out of his throat, like he's lost his voice. But he does kind of like stretch, and the head is attached to a neck.
Oh, hey, and we got a shovel. He's not just a head; he's got a body. He's just buried. Someone
Marta,
help
come
me.
back here!
What?
Marta, as you sort of shout this, one of the merchants kind of steps forward and just looks at you and says, "No, we leave him."
But why?
He is an oath breaker. He's being punished.
What's that mean? I know, like punished, but what's an oath breaker?
To someone, he made an oath, a promise. He is now accused of breaking it. So they leave him here. It is not for us to decide this man's fate.
What? But who buried him? What? Seems like a real serious punishment.
Breaking an oath is a serious offense.
I'm sorry, I can't just leave someone dying in the middle of the road. That ain't right.
Your business is yours. My cart will not wait for you.
Well, I'll just dig real fast then.
Wait. Marta!
Gladness
What?
is shouting at you, and Pod's awake now.
I am running up to Marta.
What?
Ask him
He's
what
not-
he did. Ask him what his oath was that he broke.
He can't talk right now because he's been buried in the ground. He doesn't have a voice. You want to get
I
some
cast
water?
detect thoughts.
Cast detect thoughts. You got some surface thoughts off
Yeah.
this man. Most of the surface thoughts are, please gods help me, and very thirsty.
Okay. I'm gonna
And the like, he's in pretty dire straits.
Cool. I'm gonna probe deeper on this one because he's stuck in dirt. I don't know if there's a whole lot he could do to me if he knows what I'm doing.
Okay.
I think I have to roll. No, he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
I think he might just fail this one, guys. I don't know that he is capable of pushing anybody out right now. You probe deeper. And I think for this one specifically, he is really sort of in and out of consciousness right now. But you get a couple of images essentially that are kind of like floating through like the deeper thoughts in the back of his mind as he can hear you guys trying to figure out like the hell's going on. You see an inn, like it looks like an inn on the roadside, and you do sort of push in almost into like a memory of him sort of sitting in this inn, having a hushed conversation, and then you get a couple of other images, some that are very clearly of dragons, and then one more that is I'm trying to think if you would just recognize it outright. Look at my notes. You would. You also see just sort of kind of almost like ever present, kind of floating through his mind and just kind of showing up in different thoughts. A symbol. It's murky because he's kind of coming in and out, but it is vaguely in the shape of a harp. But you've seen it once before because Laosin wears it on a necklace. Pod's monk buddy.
Okay. I think I've changed my mind, which never happens. Let's get him out of there.
Okay. Here, can we get him some water? Just like pull out like a water skin and get him some water and start digging him out.
Okay.
Not only do we need him out of there, we need him alive. So water, yes.
All right, you get him some water. Some of the merchants start to get back into their wagons and leave. Some of them stay and sort of lend a hand. It's gonna take a couple of hours to dig him out. All together, across like all of you, it'll probably take like an hour and a half. But he is like fully vertical, sort of buried in the ground. So some of the caravan starts to take off.
Does Marcus look like he's gonna leave?
No.
Okay.
He's paid to do whatever you guys want to do, so
Pod.
he sits there and he sort of reaches back and just sort of like cracks open a flask, just kind of like.
Pod had been watching and like snuck over beside the horses and was watching Marcus see if he's gonna go like hand on some of the buckle on like the hitch that was holding the horse to the wagon, prepared to like cut the horse free to distract Marcus for a couple hours if needed.
Yeah. No, he just drives the wagon.
Can I try and convince some of the other merchants to stay and help?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna, because we're standing like out in front of the whole thing, like a little bit of retconning, but we're standing out in front of the whole thing. I'm going to just sort of make a big show of myself and go, listen, travelers. This is a man who we may not know what oath he broke, but we do know that it was left up to the gods and to fate what his fate would be. If we are to come across him and he is still living, are we not that fate?
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll persuasion.
Okay. That is 14.
Okay. Yeah, you see a few of them stop to listen. The initial that first merchant that stepped forward and said that you should leave him sort of continues on, but becomes very aware that a few of the people that were following him are not now. So I think you probably cut that group down by half. So a few of the carts that are in the front sort of start to make their way up the road, and you'll be a little bit behind them, but some of them stay and help. And so it will take, there's only so many people that can dig at one time, but it gives you more people to rotate in and out essentially, and some of them offer to lend a hand, so cut down, that'll put you maybe an hour behind everybody else.
Marta's digging because she can like pick up big loads of dirt, and she's just like talking at the head that then becomes a neck that then becomes shoulders. It'll be all right. We'll just get us out of here and it'll be good. And you just keep drinking more water, okay? You don't worry about a thing. Can you nap? Can you sleep like that? Why don't you just try sleeping like that? And yeah, she'll just kind of chat at them.
Okay. He's mostly doesn't respond. but kind of comes in and out. Marta, I think you see him sort of looking at you, like trying to focus on your words a few times. And between all of you, you dig him out. One of the merchants that Gladness you convinced to say cracks open one of the crates that is in the back of their cart, like a smaller one, and you see as he cracks it open a little bit of like steam escape, when like warm air first hits ice, and he pulls out some food that it's essentially like a cooler in the back, it's a fantasy cooler in the back of the cart, and pulls out some like meat that they had been transporting, and like brings it over to try to help this man. He's got plenty of water. You finally pull him out, and a few of the merchants and the guards for their caravans, they're sort of instructed to fill the hole back in, because they don't want to just leave like a pit in the middle of the road. So they start to do that, and you get him some water, and he is able to sort of sit up in the back of your cart, and finally seems to kind of start to come to consciousness.
Cool.
Hi.
Hi.
If you just want to rest for a little bit, we won't bug you.
It's sort of nice to see people again.
Yeah.
Sorry for looking into your brain a little bit. You couldn't talk, and I needed a reason to get you out of there.
It's all right. Been through worse.
Fair.
What's your name?
Robert.
Hi. I'm Marta.
I'll spare you the rest of the titles.
You have titles?
I did.
Who'd you piss off?
He sort of looks you all over. My fiance's father.
Uh-huh. Ouch. I relate, kinda. Also, ouch.
Didn't go well. Engaged to be married and all that. Found out they wanted me to join the family business.
What was the family business?
Banditry.
Oh. So, you said you didn't want to marry your fiance anymore?
Yes, that's basically the gist of it.
So that's the oath they said she broke?
Yes, that's it. As he is sitting there, I think Gladness, because you saw it before, you have, well, you look like you do want to make a roll, but also you do see as he's kind of like dusting the dirt off him and everything, that same, it's the Harpers at this point. That's who Leosin is affiliated with. You see that same symbol tattooed sort of right here on his like bare shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to make an insight check.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I do that with advantage? I saw his brain.
Yeah, you were in his brain. That does seem fair.
I saw his brain.
That seems fair.
Okay, I got... That's 15.
Okay, he's gonna roll. He's gonna roll a 5. Oh, buddy. It's okay, Rob. You're good at other things. Yeah. Oh, that none of that was true. That was such bullshit. I will say, you rolled so much higher than him, because you beat him by like 10. it's not just a lie, that is a rehearsed story that
Uh-huh.
he's telling. He tells it well.
Mm-hmm.
None of it is true.
Cool.
You know what it's like. You know
yeah,
how
I
to
do.
tell a
I do
story.
know what it's like.
You know, he practiced that one. He's been
Cool.
practicing that one.
Cool, Robert. Where's your fiance from?
El Terrell. Also, I was told.
So you were told. And what was the name of the bandit family?
Well, they weren't going to tell me that up front. I mean, there were a lot of lies sort of strewn all about.
And they wanted you to marry into that family, but they wouldn't tell you?
Well, I fell in love with someone and was going to marry her. The stipulation was, join us.
Uh-huh.
I assume Potsy's the tattoo too.
Yeah.
You're a Harper.
His whole demeanor immediately changes.
Could have just said that.
Voice down.
So you were lying.
I don't exactly know you, do I?
We just pulled your ass out of the dirt. You think we're gonna put you back there? That's a lot of work.
Some people are willing to go through it. How do you know the Harpers?
Friends. Leosin.
Are you lying?
Not anymore.
All right, then spill it. What's the truth?
What is this caravan?
I think we can probably tell him what's going on here if he's a Harper. Unless the oath you broke was to the Harpers. Was the oath you broke to the Harpers?
No. And keep
He's
your
telling the
voice
truth.
down.
I'm as down as I can be. I'm 3 feet below you. I have to enunciate or else you're not going to be able to hear me. And I'm just going to get ignored for this entire conversation.
He sort of looks around at like the rest of the caravan and everything that's like packing up, getting ready to go. Not now.
And we won't tell you what this caravan is now.
No, he has a point. We should wait until nightfall when everybody goes to sleep. But
Fine.
we're going to keep an eye on you.
Yeah.
Fine. Well,
And
it's
no
like
more
you-
lying.
At least not to us. You can lie to other people.
Fine.
I'm sort of getting the sense that some of you have very little self-preservation instinct.
Yes.
What gave you that idea?
The
Is it
fact
his
that I
bruises?
was...
Because, yeah, those are new.
No, he actually seems the most reasonable to me in this situation. Is the fact that you think I was buried up to my neck in the ground with the word Oathbreaker written across my forehead, and that I should just trust people and not lie to them.
We can put you back in that hole.
I'd like to see you try.
Where's Yana, right? Or what's her name?
Yana,
Here's Yana.
around. Conspicuously absent during the dragon fight. Yeah, she makes her way up to the back of the wagon, just sort of like puts her elbows up and kind of like hoists herself up, sits down next to Leo, who I guess is taking a nap, because she's riding in style right now. So, made a new friend. Can we get going now?
Yeah, I think we can head out. He's not going anywhere.
Don't imagine so. So, found yourselves a harbor, huh?
Seems to be the situation.
I suppose we can talk about it over dinner.
Mm-hmm.
She just sits there as if any other conversations you have, she's going to insert herself into. Okay. You continue on. The caravan stops for the evening, eventually a few hours later. Nothing more exciting sort of happens on the road. The caravan guards or the mercenaries and everything start to make camp. And Robert, having gotten some of his strength back, sort of pulls himself out of the wagon, doesn't go far, just kind of waits to see what you all are doing. I imagine you kind of have your own little campfire and everything that you set up a little bit away from everyone else. And you sit down to talk to your new friend. I think before we get into all of that, because it's probably going to take more than a couple minutes, I think we'll go ahead and take a break. So hold that thought. We'll go ahead and take our break here. Thanks for hanging out with us so far, everybody. We will be back in just a quick few minutes. We're going to get something to drink, get a snack, take a bio break, go to the bathroom, all of that good stuff. I'm going to stretch my back. And we will be back in just a few short minutes. So stick around. And welcome back. Internet, thanks for hanging out with us during our break. We are refreshed, and we definitely all went and got water to drink and nothing else, like I asked specifically.
I drank water. I drank a whole glass of water. And then
definitely happened.
Other things.
It definitely happened. And if somebody were to redeem a water break right now, all of us would definitely be drinking water. I'm sure there's water in all of these things. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons some more.
Okay.
How about it? There it is.
Damn it, G!
G always has my back.
I'm gonna drink squirt. That's the closest thing I got.
Your green screen's taken a lot out of it. And so the label, when it was down sort of in the bottom of your camera, looked like the tonic waters that we buy for mixing drinks. And I was like, Sid.
No, I told you I would have had something and tonic if I'd had tonic water. But I don't. Sad. Squirt's got water in it.
We're all drinking water around the campfire at night on the outskirts of the fields of the dead. There are markedly fewer bones scattered around for the first time in several days, and I imagine that's pretty pleasant.
Probably a good thing.
You set up a campfire. You've got some tents, basic tents and everything, and I assume you're setting up to sleep in, so you don't all have to cram into the wagon, or you can all cram into the wagon. That's up to you. It's not covered, but who knows? Your sleeping arrangements are up to you, but you sit around the fire. Yana is there, sort of feet kicked up, observing mostly everything. Robert is sitting among you, eating like he hasn't eaten in days, because he hasn't. I imagine you probably have some questions.
So what'd you really do?
Well, it's technically classified information.
I'm guessing whoever thinks it's classified information are the ones that stuck you in the ground, so does that really matter that much anymore?
It does, because I need to know if any of their associates are in your traveling party here. You're going north, yes?
Yeah.
And I'm to assume this is just a caravan, a very large caravan of merchants and their mercenaries who are now suddenly getting along and traveling together.
Maybe we can clear it up this way. How do you feel about dragons?
I thought that might be the case. How do you feel about dragons?
I think we asked you first.
Yes, there are many of you and one of me, and if I answer wrong, you slit my throat.
You must not have had some really good friends wherever you came from. I wouldn't slit your throat for something like that. That seems a little extreme.
I think you'll find when it comes to this particular business matter, many people are very extreme.
Let's say there's a group of people out there that are doing some real strange things with dragons.
Sure.
Let's say some of those people might be traveling with this caravan. Let's say some other people want to keep an eye on them. Which group do you think we look like?
Well, hard to say, but I'm getting the impression that that's on purpose.
Marta pulls off like the hat and the wig that she'd been wearing just slightly. If it helps, I'm not a bugbear, I'm a fearbulk.
Sure. It helps.
Also, I'm not any part dragon under here because he has the lake dragon mask.
You got any guesses?
I guess at a glance, it does really look like we're a part of that first group, now that I think about it, now that I remember what our disguises looked like.
Yeah.
Now that I
am actually just a kobold.
Yeah, that's fair. Now that I am 100% clear that they are disguises, I think I understand the situation a bit more. Yes. And he kind of keeps his voice low. Yes, I am part of the Harpers. Yes, I know about the dragons. Yes, I know about the people who might be interested in doing some strange dragon-related things.
Why were you an Oathbreaker?
I'd say it's a long story, but it's actually pretty straightforward now that I think about it. He sort of points to his the Harper tattoo, including your friend Leosin, somewhere up the chain. We're tracking what I initially understood to be smugglers, taking a shipment of stolen goods north. So I was tasked with following them, and I followed them a little too well. Found out that they were more than just smugglers. They're involved in whatever this dragon business is. thought it would be appropriate to continue to gather information, so I ingratiated myself to them and unfortunately did a bad job of passing some information to an innkeep who was a contact of mine. One of them heard, told the merchants that we were traveling with that I was passing information to bandits, so we'd be robbed, because I assume they didn't want to admit that they were part of a cult who, I don't know, worships dragons or wants to be dragons, whatever they are. Merchants, being the sort of people that they are, didn't want to just hang me then and there, so an Oathbreaker's punishment it was, leaving Provenance to decide my fate. The next few days are sort of a blur because I was dying, and then you found me.
Leans into Glad. Is he telling the truth?
I guess. I'm not magic about that.
Well, you can look in his head, right?
Yeah, he knows I'm doing it, though.
For the first and probably only time, Marta would like to figure out if this man is lying.
Roll an insight check. Half your party is wisdom based, I swear to Christ.
And they're the halves that never roll
And they
insight
don't
checks.
want to do it. It's so good. Roll an insight check.
That is a natural 20. Plus 3. That's a 23.
I was really waiting for you to say like plus 12.
No. She doesn't. She's got a good wisdom. It's not anything in insight though.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, he's shooting straight with you. There's probably some more details in there that you could get if you wanted, but the story is true. You just kind of laying it all out.
I think he's telling the truth.
Mm.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Hmm?
Why are you looking at me like that?
I wasn't sure if you were telling the truth or not.
Fair enough. So, who are you then? You're not Harper's, but you know some.
For the rescue brigade.
Huh. Never heard of you?
Good.
Not yet.
No.
We could have changed her name like 100 times. You keep using the same name.
I've said it twice.
It sounds very official. So what, do you work for one of the cities, or?
It just sounds like we should be wearing shorts.
Is that the,
Shorts
the
and polos, yep.
Is that the rescue part or the brigade part?
The
That
brigade
makes
part.
you think of shorts. Brigade?
Absolutely, the brigade
I think
part.
it's the brigade part.
I think of brigade. I think of like buckets, but that's just me.
Maybe it's the two words together.
Yeah.
No, we work for ourselves.
Alright, mercenaries then.
Of a sort.
I
I
guess.
mean,
So, personal interest or need for danger, or is someone just paying you very well to be here?
mostly the last one.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
You said you had a bunch of titles. What were all your titles?
they're really not important. I left that life quite a bit ago.
I like names.
Well, all right. Full name, then. Sir Robert Jonathan Squire III.
The third. What family?
Squire.
Well, yes, but Squire is a name that could be, where?
No, everywhere. Those Squires.
Oh, those Squires.
Like I said, I left that life quite some time ago.
Okay. So, you're on a mission from the Harbors to investigate this dragon cult.
Yes.
How much you willing to pay us to help?
I'm not.
Drive a hard bargain.
Odd. Gonna be real with you on this one. It's hard to convince somebody to pay us for a job that we're already doing.
We can stop.
And then not get paid at all.
And then we weren't going to get the other money.
Yeah,
They didn't used to call me sir for nothing. It really was for nothing. Most knighthoods are complete bullshit, if you want to know the truth.
So you're a
No, I
knight
believe
and
it.
a squire?
Yeah, that's where it gets confusing.
Well, you've got good company in the high name here. She's a Carlin. And, Leo's asleep, I'm assuming.
My uncle worked for the Carlin.
I also work for the Carlins, sort of.
Who's your uncle?
No one of consequence.
I was just waiting for it all to come around, and it was the butler the whole time.
Jimothy!
Alfred Pennyworth.
I never heard of him.
Yeah. I suppose if he'd been a Nickelworth, you may have.
Was that a joke?
Wah, wah.
I have family in Thay. They use different currency than here. It's funnier in Enochian.
You have family in Thay?
Far off, distant relatives.
Do you know Joss?
No.
Oh.
Well, other than being a harper, what are you trying to do? What were you trying to do?
Well, there was a large shipment we heard about of stolen goods that were making their way north, up to Neverwinter, allegedly. I was to follow them. Discovered all this dragon business, reported back, was told to continue reporting. So I did, until I got caught. That's pretty much the gist of it.
Caught by them. Yeah.
Yes?
Okay.
Sure.
The dragon cult,
Yes.
as it were. Okay.
So they know who you are now.
They know my face, but those are easily changed.
How easily?
Oh, very.
I know, like for you and me, but I'm asking for him.
I've paid to have it done before. It's not unheard of.
So what do you do? Like, what are you good at?
What am I good at? Well, I'm sort of equipment-less at the moment.
Can you swing sword? Can you fight? You do magic?
Yes,
You talk good?
Talking, all right. Pretty Pretty good, I would say, at the talking. A little bit of magic here and there. That's mostly a blessing, though. Great sword. Great sword was really my whole thing. Now I don't have one. It's very
That's
depressing.
not a very
actually.
great sword, is it?
It was. Young Pod, a very great sword. It was.
You think maybe if we asked Noctadros' first sword, he'd give you one? We don't look like us anymore.
I don't think we should go within 100 yards of Langdedrosa.
All right.
That was already a close enough call when the dragon attacked.
Yeah.
We're just glad that I'm just glad that Leo was unconscious, so she didn't start swooning over him again.
Yeah, I'm glad she was unconscious for that too. I'm not so glad she was unconscious at all. Just that she was unconscious for that.
Otherwise, she might have just jumped him right there, and the whole thing would be
Ew,
over.
disgusting, gross, unnecessary.
That doesn't seem like it'd be very practical either. I mean, I feel like she would have waited for the dragon to be, like slain and stuff.
What do you think? Do you think she just jumps people's bones out of nowhere?
Well, I mean, she kind of got...
That's kind of been our experience, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Is this your
doesn't.
Carlin friend?
What?
Is this your Carlin friend? Because based on my
yes.
experience with the Carlins, that sounds about right.
Well, yeah, that's Leo, but I mean, she doesn't always do that.
Wait, you
No.
know some other Carlins? Do you know any Carlins?
A couple here and there. Like I said, my uncle used to work for one of them.
Do you know Auron?
Ugh.
No.
But you're right, Glad. It was unfair. I think she just more has a proclivity for big, beefy dragon guys.
I mean, she had a sleepover with him like the first night she met him, so...
Yeah.
And I slept with Vesemir. Are we done?
We weren't talking about you. Why are you making
I
this
wasn't
about
talking
yourself?
about you. Yeah.
I'm not
Are
making
you-
this. I thought we were talking about people that slept with dragons.
No, we were talking about Leo sleeping with
Leo.
a half dragon.
Yeah.
I'm starting to be concerned that maybe you are not on the side of this that you told me you were on.
Oh no, we absolutely are. This was all to get information, espionage sort of things. I have no feelings for that situation, and
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware, neither does Leo.
Seems like people in our group just have just like to get very, very close to the people that they're investigating for some reason.
That's a valid strategy.
Well, I guess there's no reason for Bob here not to travel with us.
We'll try and find your sword.
Would appreciate it. I would like to feel of some use. But if it helps, or if I need to argue to pay my way, I have contacts in the harbors in Waterdeep, which is on the way. I imagine caravan will be stopping there before it reaches its final destination, Neverwinter. So, could be of some use.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good.
All right.
I have one more question for you.
Sure.
While you were buried in the ground, did you run into a muddy deer?
A muddy deer? No. I mean, there were some deer about. The herds sort of wander around the hills, so maybe? Not specifically.
It's okay. Thanks anyway.
Right. I am going to try to sleep. That's all right with everyone.
Sure. Who wants to take first watch?
I'll keep an eye on him while y'all sleep. I slept in the cart.
Okay. Write a little bit into Baz and go sleep.
Once he falls asleep, Pod sneaks over and ties a bell to his boot. So if he gets
He
up
doesn't
and
have
goes-
boots unless you guys gave him boots.
I would probably give him some clothes.
Okay.
I don't want him walking around in nothing but pants for the rest of this. That just makes me uncomfortable.
Why?
Well, he's going to be walking bare feet. That would be really painful.
Okay. Yeah, he's scrounged a pair of boots and a shirt, and stuff. All right, roll self.
I can't do math. 24.
Okay. Yeah, you do sneak up, fasten a
25.
bell. Okay, it doesn't make a difference. You rolled too high. He hears you. You fasten a bell to the laces of the boots that you gave him.
Planning on taking it off like when the sun starts to come up in the morning,
Sure,
but in case he sneaks away during that, because Pod's trying to keep like a watch more
Yeah.
than just on him.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. Just roll me a general perception check.
General perception. I'm gonna use one of my psionic dice. That was bad.
Okay.
That's a 10.
Okay. Yeah. You keep watch. You check in on Robert every so often. He doesn't go anywhere. The night passes uneventfully. He's still there in the morning.
Unties the bell before he wakes up.
Take the bell back. And unless anybody has anything they want to do, you hit the road the next morning. You continue on toward Waterdeep, toward Neverwinter by way of Waterdeep, I guess. Yeah, let's do a new round of perception checks. Woo! Val.
22.
15.
Used a psionic die, literally rolled the exact same thing, 10 total. 4
Aw.
on the d20. Or, if it's a failure, I get the die back. I don't know if this is something I succeed or fail on.
I would consider that a failure.
Then I'll keep my dice.
You can keep it. But yeah, again, you guys haven't used a lot of stuff, but benefits of a long rest as we continue on traveling. You make it a few more days into the journey. You've been traveling for a couple of weeks at this point. You're making it. We're approaching the halfway point of your travel. Waterdeep is still several days away, and then Neverwinter a couple of weeks beyond that, but you're getting there. Doing it. Marta.
Yep.
A couple of days later, one afternoon, you sort of gotten out of the plains and you're getting into this more like hilly region of the coast, getting a little farther north. It's getting a little bit colder. It's not unbearable by any means. It's just, chilly mornings, sort of gets cold at night. But one afternoon, on a hillside, you are not the only person that notices this. You see a couple of other folks like a couple of other mercenaries, especially people. I think everyone's gotten into a rhythm at this point, and like there are a few people who are in charge of like going out and resupplying and like hunting for food and things like that. So I think you see a couple of them perk up as well in other wagons that are near yours. You see a herd of deer on a hillside, and you see one of the mercenaries, one of the travelers in the wagon ahead of you, sort of elbow another who has a bow on her back, and they sort of point and are looking up at the deer. And then you see them sort of like start to talk to each other and point again up at the hill. And you see this as well. Among these deer on the hillside, a lot of them, they've sort of stopped to graze in the grass and stuff. And then a few of them sort of, you see their ears like perk up and their heads perk up, and they split kind of aside. And among them, as they're walking over the hill, is this huge stag, like a massive deer that is very strangely glittering in sort of the setting sun. Its coat is almost golden, and its antlers, it's got this huge it's a massive, like what you would think of as like a 9-point buck with all these huge like antlers spreading out, are like this silvered like platinum color. And sort of just stands on the side of the hillside, kind of almost looking down at the caravan. And you see the hunters in the cart ahead of you talking to each other, and then sort of pulling on their driver, and there are calls to stop.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Where are you going?
Marta's got to go talk to that deer.
Okay. So as the caravan sort of comes to a stop again, and there's some grumbling amongst the folks that are just really ready to not be driving anymore, and they don't want to stop every couple of hours. The dads among the group. The caravan stops, and Marcus just goes along with it at this point. He's seen enough shit. You make your way out of the cart, and I assume sort of across the fields towards the hill. You hear a couple of voices calling after you, and jogging up to you is this hunter from the wagon in front of you. Sort of pulls on your arm, and she says, hey, whoa.
Shh.
Oh, you charging up like that, you're gonna scare him away.
No, I'm gonna talk to him.
You're gonna talk to him?
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Why?
Because we're hunting.
Well, I can talk to it, and then you can hunt it later.
No. That's a deer with a golden pelt.
Okay.
Listen, sweetie, why don't you go back to your wagon and let us take care of this?
I didn't want to have to do this. Mars gonna go invisible. And yeah, as a bonus action, you can magically turn invisible until the start of your next turn, or until you attack. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, she'll go invisible, get away from this lady, sort of creep onto the grass and get a little bit closer to the deer.
Hero, what the fuck? As the hunters are sort of scrambling a little bit. Yeah, hey everybody, Marta has just gone and is now invisible. The rest of the caravan is like, what the fuck is happening?
It only lasts for like 11 seconds, and then she reappears, and she's just like crawling up the hill.
Okay.
She'll cast beast speech on herself as well.
Sure. Yeah, you start to crawl up the hill. You cast beast speech.
Speak
Now,
with animals.
Is this the spell speak with animals, or is this the one where they can only do like?
She's got both, but she's gonna cast speak with animals so that
Okay.
she can understand them too.
Okay.
She just the beast speech is actually just something she has as a firbolg. Like she can just talk to animals and they kind of understand her, but she wouldn't be able to understand back. But
Right.
But speak with animals
They can
she
talk
has
back
as
and
an
forth.
eldritch invocation. Yes.
Got you. Okay, so you cast speak with animals on yourself, and there's several deer nearby who are starting to look a little spooked. And then
It's okay. I just wanted to say hi.
one of the deer nearby just is like looking at you like,
I'm Marta. Hi.
hi.
Do you know who the big friend is?
Yes,
What's their name?
Malin.
Malin?
Yes.
Okay. Can I talk to Malin? Is that okay?
You can try.
Okay.
She just kind of backs up. Okay.
Gets
Marta
closer.
continues to slink up the hill.
Says hello to the deer as she passes. Hi.
The deer are confused, a little spooked. They don't run. And you make your way up the hill to where the golden stag is standing. And immediately upon seeing you, it I think looks defensive and starts to like make to leave.
Excuse me? Malin?
I have a question.
Mhm.
About this is really more of a general question to the universe about how the heck speak with animals works.
Let me grab the spell.
So for speak with animals,
Mm-hmm.
you can comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts.
Yes.
But it's not like you're like speaking a different language or anything. Marta's just talking, and the spell, I guess, like sort of, I'm imagining it as like, because you cast it on yourself, that it sort of like magically translates whatever you're saying in common or whatever you would be saying to where they can understand, you can understand them. I'm gonna say that's how it works.
Sure.
Because this specific situation is a little complicated. For reasons we will discover. So yeah, you make your way up, say hello. Malin sort of stops, kind of eyes you. Can you understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Finally.
Have you been looking for someone to talk to?
It's a long story. Meet me. In the woods. East of here. Don't let the hunters follow you.
Okay.
After nightfall. And the stag sort of turns very quickly and just bolts.
Okay. See you later.
And the rest of the deer sort of follow suit, and kind of scatter.
Well, that was weird. She'll head her way back down the hill.
You head back down the hill, and the hunters look completely exasperated as all the deer have scattered now. Well, there goes dinner.
There's some rabbits.
They just give you a really long, irritated glance and kind of walk away.
Doesn't even notice. Just heads back. So I have to meet the big golden deer in the forest after nightfall.
That's a trap. You know it's a trap, right?
Maybe.
Marta, did you check those mushrooms you foraged?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I can talk to animals.
The animals, that's not what... Okay.
This deer is going to try to eat you.
I don't think deers are carnivores.
No, it seemed like he was looking for someone that could understand him.
We were attacked by a bone dragon yesterday. You're really going to tell me a carnivorous deer would be out of the realm of possibility?
Oh, no, you got a point.
Well, then you all come with me.
I don't think we can do that.
Why not?
We got stuff to do.
Well, it's after nightfall. The caravan's waiting anyway.
I'll go with you.
Thank you.
Fine, me too. We can let Leo take watch that night.
You can make Bob do it.
I don't want to have to leave Bob alone. We should tell Yana to keep an eye on him. I don't trust her either. Damn it. Leo can stay and watch them.
Okay.
Guys. Great idea, Pod. Let's do that.
Okay.
Go about our day.
You go about the rest of the day. You get a few more beats of travel in.
Marta will try to be helpful and like get some rabbits or something with the hunters so they stop giving her stink eye.
Just go ahead and roll a survival check for me.
Okay. It's not bad. Not bad. Don't. No. Oh, I actually think I do have survival. I do! That's a 21!
Okay, yeah, you manage along the way to sort of catch a few rabbits, things like that, sort of small game as a peace offering. They begrudgingly accept it. And it's a nice gesture. But yeah, it was already pretty late in the afternoon, so you get a little bit more travel in before the caravan stops again for the night. How long are you waiting to sort of head off into the forests to the east?
It's set after nightfall, so once the sun starts setting, look around all shifty-eyed. Okay, come on.
Okay. Leo, watch them.
She's so ready. And the three of you head off in an easterly direction, sort of disappearing into the trees. Have survival checks from anybody who's trying to figure out where the heck you're going.
That's even better. 24.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually have proficiency in this.
Holy shit. Dirty 20.
Hey!
Okay.
It's like my fourth 10 of the game.
10. Okay, Pod. You don't get lost, Pod. You do a great job following your friends. But Gladness and Marta both, I think, along the way. Marta almost immediately, as you sort of cross into the forest area here, you see deer tracks. They have a very distinctive hoof pattern. It is not difficult for you to find. They're creatures you have, I assume, probably lived alongside of, at least at some point. And between you and Gladness, Marta, you sort of keeping track of the tracks themselves. Gladness sort of looking through for like broken branches, like tamped down paths, that kind of thing. Between the two of you, you can follow the trace left behind by a very large deer. You make your way through you probably walk for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes maybe through, pod following behind, and sort of in a bit of a clearing in the woods that you break into, you start to see stones, but not like boulders or like fallen rocks, like worked stones. And you see a couple that have been like knocked over into the mud. And then you see one where several have been like stacked up like a pillar. And you make your way into this clearing, and as the trees open up a little bit or have been cleared away, you see a ruin, like a stone building that has been out here for a very long time. It is covered in moss and sort of draped in ivy and probably unrecognizable from what it once was, but there was something here before.
Well, that's real pretty.
A deer told you to meet here?
Yeah.
Deer has good taste.
It's a trap. You all see how this is a trap, right?
I like to try and believe on the side of mysticality sometimes because it makes for a good story. But if it is a trap, that's also a good story.
Yep, good story until we die. All right.
What would you like to do?
I guess look around for more deer tracks. See if it passed through here.
Okay. Yeah, you've been following the trail pretty well. Just Marta. Tell you what, what's your passive perception?
13.
Okay. I think because you rolled so well on the survival check, you all sort of make your way out into this clearing where this ruin is sitting. And Marta, you look around for a moment, and you look down again to try to make sure you continue to follow these tracks the right way. And there is a spot, like a particularly like muddy spot on the ground where you see two tracks right next to each other as if the footsteps have continued. One of them is sort of the distinct hoof print of a deer. The next print looks like a human footprint. And they sort of continue off into like through the mud into the ruin.
It's not a trap. He's just not a deer. Or at least he's not a deer all the time.
I think the order that sentence should have been in is, oh, he's not a deer, it's a trap.
Yeah, now you're getting it. Mm-hmm.
Well, then watch my back.
Okay.
He went in this way. Follow the prints.
All right, you follow the footprint sort of through the mud, through like a mostly still intact arched doorway, into these ruins that have long since fallen. And sitting amongst some candles and like a lantern that is kind of strewn here and there is a man. There are, like I said, candles and lanterns kind of strewn about. There is a I mean, it's not a bedroll. It's sort of like a makeshift, like, cot, sort of off to the side. It's made of like a bed of like leaves and like bits of like grass and things that are sort of made into a bed. Like someone has been living here for a while and then sitting on a rock off to the side. There's a person sitting there. He is thin, has sort of very long, pointed ears, wears very simple clothes over like this very tanned skin that he has, just sort of like a tunic, breeches, barefoot, and sort of growing from the sides of his head, sort of pushing through this like long brown hair, you see antlers, like stag antlers that you had seen before. And this elf sees you and stands. You came.
Hi. So, you're Malin?
Yes. You're Marta, and you're here.
You know my name?
No, you told some of the other deer, and they told me.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe it.
Well, what do you not believe? You asked me to come.
Well, no one's ever been able to speak to me before.
No one's been able to speak with animals?
Well, and most people that are trying to hunt you for your pelt or your meat don't try.
Oh. You're welcome?
Yes. Thank you. Please, sit. I don't have much in the way of things to offer to guests, but
That's okay. This is my friends Glad and Pod.
he sort of looks like past Marta to where you all are standing.
Definitely like back at the entryway, like.
Yeah.
Please come in. Come in.
Oh, they think this is a trap.
Oh, yes, I can see how it might seem that way. It's not a trap. I promise.
See, even I know that if it was a trap, the person would probably say it wasn't a trap. So
You're starting
it's
to
okay.
understand better. Yep. Good call,
Right.
Marta.
Smart. Okay. I'll prove it then. I'm cursed, and I can't leave these ruins without turning into a deer.
Uh-huh.
And I can show you. And Malin makes his way past you, Marta, and sort of makes his way out of the ruin, kind of into the clearing, the steps right up to the spot where you saw the footprints change. And then he takes another step. And there is a sort of snapping and popping sound. And this darkness sort of surrounds him for a moment, and then very quickly changing, standing in the place where this wood elf was standing before is the large golden pelted platinum antlered stag that you saw before.
Does that hurt?
He steps back farther into the clearing towards the ruins again, and the darkness surrounds him again. He changes back. It's not pleasant.
Okay, but we have a friend that can do something very similar to that, but she can only do it like 2 or 3 times a day. So I'm gonna need you to at least see you do it a couple more times, so I know this isn't some sort of druid trap.
I don't think I don't think Leo can turn into a giant sparkly deer with silver horns. I don't think she can do that.
I thought she could only turn into, like, rats.
Yeah.
Fine.
Like I said, I don't have much to offer guests, but shelter from the night and a warm fire. And some food.
Sure.
And, and some ale taken off the last hunters who tried to murder me.
Yeah.
Well, you not whatnot.
Peace.
Thanks. So, how'd you get cursed?
Well, it's kind of a long story. A very long story, considering how long I've been like this. Your eyes are saying how long? 700 years, give or take?
700 years?
I'm quite old.
Well, I'm gonna assume that before you were cursed, you're an elf.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
they
years give it
live a
away.
while.
So
They don't
that's
live
elf
for
years.
700 years.
Oh, they absolutely do.
Yep.
The people who originally lived in this land, the elves, especially the ones of the druidic persuasion, which it seems you're familiar with, could live 1,000 to 2,000 years. Our archdruids lived for centuries, millennia even.
So that's 700 elf years and not deer years.
No, it seems the elf years are sticking, much to my chagrin.
Yeah, I guess that sucks.
Yes, it's not been pleasant. But you're here. And that's wonderful.
Is there something we can help with?
Well, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, curses aren't put on people for no reason. Why were you cursed?
Well, would you believe it if I said it was love that did me in?
Yeah, I would. But I would also want a little bit more detail than that.
Right. This, he sort of points to the stones and everything. This that you see around you used to be a castle of sorts. Beautiful place. Lovely courtyards, all sorts of things. And I was its prince. I did once wear shoes. And, well, I found love. A wonderful woman. Beautiful, smart, funny, cunning, hard working. 10 times more wonderful than I thought a person could ever be. And her father hated me. Every fiber of his being. He was a farmer. I was a prince. What could I possibly have to offer his daughter?
I mean, like a lot of gold and like a castle to live in, and, well, it sounds like you loved her a lot. So, lots of stuff.
Some people don't see it that way. So, upon discovering that she loved me too. He made something happen. I don't know. I don't know who did it. Technically, all sorts of magic, witches, warlocks, creatures in the woods, could have been anything, but he made damn sure I knew the intent was his. He hexed me. And now I can't leave this place without turning into that thing. It's not so much a bother now that the people have all died and the castle has fallen down around me.
What happened to your lady love?
I don't know. I assume she's long gone now.
Do you know if there's a way to break the hex?
No, that's what I've been looking for a very long time. Someone has to be able to do it. A wizard, a witch, a sorcerer, someone. I imagine folks like you know a thing or two, or a person or two. The problem is that every time I try to leave this God's forsaken place, I turn into the most wanted creature in the countryside. And I know it's a lot to ask anyone to take on. I can provide compensation.
I'm in.
Well, I mean, not in gold, strictly
Wow.
speaking, but
I'm not confirmed in anymore then.
there's an artifact. Something that was in my family for a very, very long time. Well, it was stolen. But I know where they took it. And if you can promise to help me stay me all the time, I can tell you where it is.
What is it?
It's a... well, it's crystal at its core. It's got some very powerful healing magic in it.
Can you use it more than once?
Yes, that's why it's so valuable. According to the stories, anyway, any illness, any poison, anything ailing anyone.
You're the muddy deer!
And what?
You're the... Bass! Bass!
There's no answer.
Shoot. I think I was supposed to find you. I have a friend, a angel, a god, someone. They're real sick. And I was supposed to find someone covered in mud with antlers. I think you're the muddy deer.
All right.
He's not currently covered in mud.
No.
Well, I tend
What
to be
if-
more often than not.
What if the mud is a clue to how to fix him?
Have you tried taking a mud bath?
Yes, actually, I try to do those regularly. It's difficult out here because you do sort of just have to use whatever mud you find lying around, but I've been able to maintain a pretty decent skincare regimen. So.
Pod, have you ever heard of a metaphor?
Yes.
It's not a really big, scary number 4.
I know what a metaphor is.
Okay. I think the mud might be a metaphor.
Marta, what is it that troubles you?
I gotta help somebody who's real sick. That's kind of why I left home. So, if I can find this thing for you and it works more than once, then I can fix you, and then, if you don't mind, I can borrow the healing thingy and help my other friend.
As far as I'm concerned, if you can help me get back to normal, you can have the thing.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I could help a lot of people then. Okay, I'll do it.
All right. I suppose we'll leave in the morning then.
Oh. Mr. Malin, can you give me just a second?
Sure. Of course.
Pull Glad Pod to the side. I think this is what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
I'll try to go real fast, and then I can come back, and then I can meet up with you.
That's okay. It sounds like you had something really important you were looking for. And it sounds like you might be able to find a solution this way.
Looks down at Pod.
I mean, if you want to go running off with some stupid deer and try to fix him, I'm not going to try to stop you.
You gonna be mad?
Yeah, because I think this is a really dumb idea.
Just say you're gonna miss her, Pod.
I didn't say that.
I'll miss all y'all.
We'll miss you too.
I'll come back as quick as I can. And then I'll have a big, powerful healing thing.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, especially since he's probably going to fall down at least a few more times while you're gone.
I don't just fall down, I almost die.
He does
I was
almost
trying
die
to
a
make it
lot.
sound better than it was, but yeah, this one will probably be dead by the time you get back, so we'll probably need you.
Don't say that, Pod.
That sounds significantly worse.
I mean, I'm just saying, with your track record, she might want to say bye. I'm joking.
Gives Glad a big hug. Don't die till I get back, okay? Don't die when I get back, Arthur.
Okay, it might help if you didn't squeeze the air out of my lungs.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll do my best to not die.
Okay. kneels down.
You're too tall for your own good. People are gonna see you.
I'll get better at squatting down.
Just don't be gone too long. Seriously, I'm legitimately worried about Glad.
She'll get Pot a hug. I'll come back as quick as I can.
All right.
And hey, it's probably not a bad thing to have a prince as a friend, right?
Yeah, you're probably right. Here. Take this. Reaches into his bag. It's very valuable and extremely lucky, and I want you to hold on to it. Hands her one of his pair of old socks that he has.
Really?
Yeah.
Pod has given Marta a sock.
It's free.
Marta's free!
I'm not giving you the other one, though, okay? You only get half.
No, you keep it. I'll keep this one safe. Well,
All right, bye.
Oh, okay. Bye.
We'll say bye to Leo for you, too.
Yeah, give her a hug for me. I'll be back real quick, I promise.
I know.
Okay.
Pot has like walked off behind some trees and just like,
A single man tear. I have got to stop making supernatural references tonight. It's getting out of control.
Marta will dry up her tears and take out a big old handkerchief and blow her nose, put it back in. And... Bye. Head into the ruins with Malin.
Right. You head back into the ruins, where Malin has a place for you to stay. You will leave early the next morning. Gladness and Pod. Without Marta, you make your way back, following the trail back through the woods and to your camp. Is there anything y'all want to do tonight before you go to sleep?
Hey, Pod. How much ancient gold do you think is hidden in those ruins? You're muted, Pod.
do you think we have time to go in the morning?
If we go super early, it wasn't that long of a walk. I think we can make it.
All right, I'll wake you up.
Amazing.
And some of you go to sleep. Some of you, I imagine, stay up and keep watch as the party is split and you prepare for the next legs of your journey. I think that is where we're going to end it for tonight. If it wasn't clear from what just happened, Sid is going to be leaving us for a little bit, not permanently, just for a few weeks. So Marta is going to head off on her own hero's journey, and do a little bit towards accomplishing her own personal goal. But she'll be back in a few weeks, so never fear. We're missing her for 8 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And then she will be back better than ever, ready to go. Or sending Marta off on a little side quest of her own. And in the meantime, I have to ask: are you guys wanting to go into this ruin and loot and do dungeon things?
How ruinous are we talking?
Yeah, is this a real thing, or did I just like bullshit something off the top of my
No,
head?
I want to know. No. I ask the questions here. Are you guys wanting to go into a ruin and have a little fun dungeon excursion?
Yes.
Let me ask Leo real fast. Hey, Morgan. Do you want to go have a dungeon excursion next session?
She's like on
Sure.
the floor.
Just a little one.
Yeah.
As a treat?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes, and also yes, she's on the floor.
Okay. So, I'll be real with you guys. We will do this thing. This is not a dungeon that exists in the book. It's just sort of a little side journey. So I'll make a dungeon, I guess.
Yay.
So I'm giving you exactly one chance to get out of it. This is not a Wizards of the Coast little dungeon.
Will there be another talking door?
This is not a D&D approved dungeon. This is an all savvy all the time dungeon.
So what you're saying is some of us may die, but that's a risk we're willing to
You will get wet. You may get soaked.
Do we need a safe word for this dungeon?
The safe word is kumquat.
You guys want a little baby dungeon as a treat?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Okay.
That'll be a fun way to pad a couple of sessions so Marta doesn't miss too much of the actual story.
This is now a dungeon. Just a little dungeon as a treat. I just wanted to be very clear and upfront with everyone.
I
do it.
need a promise
Because-
that the door of death will make an appearance.
Listen.
Don't like that.
All right, let's do
Don't
some
like
fucking
that.
riddles.
Let's do some fucking riddles.
There will be riddles. There will be things you shouldn't touch but really want to. And there will be lots of doors, and that's all I can promise.
I mean, that just sounds like a normal Monday to
Yeah.
me. So.
Okay. I wanted to be very clear up front. I'll absolutely make up some shit. I've got several dungeons just sort of sitting in my back pocket.
Oh, good. I love back pocket dungeons.
Pocket dungeon.
Pocket dungeons.
Oh,
Though I
you're
am
gonna
upset
love
about
it.
Sid not being here for the riddles.
Yeah.
Because Sid is the best at riddles.
Because Sid did like 90%
pretty
of
good
the
at
riddles
riddles.
last time.
Because Sid knows every riddle.
I've worked with young people for a really long time. I've kind of heard a lot of them.
Morgan
just
is
saying.
really good at riddles.
There you go.
Good.
That tracks.
Because I think
Okay.
you asked like 4 last time. I got the first one, that Sid got like the next 3.
We're doing a dungeon
Yeah.
next time and it might have riddles on it.
I can tell you what the riddles were. My notes are right here.
Well, you might want to reuse them. I don't remember them.
I pulled up my notes from the Just Vamping one shot, and literally the first thing I saw was Coldplay, obviously.
Yes.
Good.
He's right. I think I skipped some of the riddles too.
We were running a little low on time.
Oh no, I did all of them.
Oh, okay.
I just screamed them at you and you got them all. Okay, I'm gonna step up my riddle game, and we're gonna do a dungeon next time. Let's do stars and wishes before I keep inserting bullshit into this module. For fun, there have been a lot of dragons in this one, not nearly enough dungeons. All the dungeons are sort of at the end of this module is the thing. So we'll do a little dungeon as
A little teaser dungeon.
a little fun dungeon. He's just a little guy.
A fungeon.
A
if
fun
you will.
shit.
Yeah.
Fungeon. We'll do a fungeon.
Makes it sound like there's gonna be a lot of mushrooms in it.
No, there were a lot of mushrooms in the last dungeon, so I'm not
Yeah. And they almost killed us. So
Yeah, I did.
maybe I'll just do that dungeon that I love so much that was written by a
the
6-year-old.
6-year-old? Yay!
I know I've talked to most of you guys about that dungeon. The one where you
That
slide down a
dungeon, I
ramp
can't-
and then have to fight 2 beholders.
I can't do it again. Sam.
No.
Sam, remind me to post that link later.
Please
I
do,
think
but
you're probably the
oh,
only one I
no.
haven't sent it to. Over the years, I've sent this link to so many people.
I've got my star. And I'll
Hell
think
yeah. Give it out.
my star is gonna go to Glad for putting up with Pod.
Glad really likes Pod.
Pod's been
really likes
so.
That's good.
I love that about their relationship.
Pod expresses comfort by making fun of people. If Pod doesn't like somebody, Pod just doesn't
Yeah,
interact with them.
yeah.
So, which is kind of me. So that's just an aspect of my personality.
Same though.
Uh,
I found the link immediately. I'm also gonna post this in the Twitch chat just for
Good.
fun. But I'm gonna just send this out to everyone. The title of this blog post is "My 6-year-old wrote a dungeon and it's terrifying." It's going in the chat. Everyone read it.
And my wish heist.
That is really kind of what this whole thing is leading up to, right? Because the whole reason you're following this caravan in the first place is like
Yeah,
stole a whole bunch of shit from other people.
heist.
Maybe the dungeon is a bank.
So I did say that. No, we're about to go water deep. There are dragons. We just add a module inside of this module and do water deep dragon heist. We're not gonna.
No, I just
Oh
had
my
an idea.
god.
I just had a great idea.
Good.
I'm not gonna say a lot because I'm gonna decide myself, and I have some time to decide because we're not gonna be playing next week. There's a one-shot that I wrote that is heist themed, and I wrote this years ago, and it fell through, and I never got to run it.
Oh, the bard one.
The bard one. There's a bard here.
You do have a bard.
I don't know anything about this other than Savannah had been planning on running an all bard.
Oops, all bards.
Heist one shot.
I did write a one-shot that was a heist one-shot built for bards. And I feel like I could build it out for a bard, a rogue, and a druid. Because I still have all of my stuff for like the villain and everything. Okay, I'll think about it. How
It's
many
still all
sessions do you want to
squishy.
spend on this?
They're still all
how
squishy,
about
not
8?
very hit thingy.
How about you just spend all 8 sessions on this dungeon? And then I will come back and have missed nothing.
I have an idea. I'll run it by you guys off stream. Who else? Who else has stars and wishes?
I will do stars and wishes. My star is going to go to Marta for just talking down some hunters that wanted to hunt a thing, because that's not easy to do. And my wish, man, I never know this one because I just have so much fun and I don't think about other things that I want because I'm having fun.
You just made Savvy so happy with that comment.
Yeah, you really did.
It was real, genuine, I promise.
Such a nice thing to say.
I guess my wish is for I'm like, what I really want is to not go down so much, but
My wish is that I'm less squishy.
But we'll get there. It'll happen.
Strategic character development.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Glad gets better at strategy. This will not happen.
No, it will
I
not.
cannot make this happen.
Maybe Glad finds something
Brilliant.
that ups his AC 1 point.
I'm just gonna call this one Loot Drop.
Cool.
Because I'm pretty sure the last wish I had to write down from you was stealing an airship.
Yes, and my next wish was also, I want to steal an airship.
Oh wait, you guys want to do a heist? I have a better idea than I had before.
Hey!
We'll talk about it.
Oh man! Now when Marta comes back, I just want like dun da 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 dun da 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 da, and she just slowly
that's
lowers
Captain
down her
Gladness.
Amazing.
I see what you did with the whole that. Captain Gladness to you.
It's me.
It is
My star goes to Savvy for a lovely little send-off. That was awesome. Thank you. I loved it.
That was actually a bastardized version of something that I did pull from the module. So
Oh, hey.
thanks, Perkins.
All right, Perkins. You're all right sometimes. Whatever.
You get to live another week.
You get to live another week. I'm still watching you. And Crawford is fucking on notice.
Yeah, he is. And my wish. I want Marta to jump back in, like, in a perfectly opportune moment to, like, cut someone's head off or just out of nowhere, but in the most adorable Marta way possible. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah. Calling it Marta's excellent, adorable, opportune moment.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Thanks to my players for doing this today. Morgan, we missed you very much.
We're gonna miss you.
Morgan!
They missed you.
Oh, good.
I don't know if you heard that, but
Sort of. Morgan's very sick. But she'll be okay, and she'll be back with us next time. Unfortunately, we'll be missing Sid for a few weeks, but after that stint is up, she will be back with us, so never fear, it's not permanent. She will be returning to the show. In the meantime, for the show, our schedule is going to be a little wonky. We are probably going to miss the next 2 weeks. I would estimate Val and I are moving to a whole other state, and it's gonna take us some time to get into our new place and everything. So I would estimate we will probably be back on the 31st, hopefully, fingers crossed. But we'll be gone from the show for the next 2 weeks, maybe 3, hopefully it's just 2, but we will be back soon. In the meantime, this next week on GGK, we have all of our regularly scheduled shows. So we will have Tabletop Tuesdays tomorrow. And word has been sent to me that barring an act of God, there will be a Squire Squad tomorrow. So join us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for some more superheroes, our wonderful Masks game that Alex runs. On Thursday, we're back for Elegant Creatures, playing some more Urban Shadows. On Friday, with these wonderful people and hopefully Morgan, for Neon Souls, where we're playing Fate. We're doing some cyberpunk sci-fi space swashbuckling. If you like alliteration, this is the channel for you. Saturday, we'll be back with Saturday Night's Mistborn, a crew we haven't seen in a little bit due to the holidays. So we'll be back for more heist action, because we're kind of in the middle of planning a heist on that show. And then Sunday, back around for Slaying 201. I'll be back in the GM's chair for the last time for a couple of weeks, running Monster of the Week. And then, we'll have some days off in between, but keep an eye out on our Discord, on our Twitter. We always post when we are going live. And there will probably be some like one-off streams during that time when our schedule is a little up in the air. So there's been talk of some one-shots and some video game streams and things like that. So we will keep you updated when things come around. And yeah, we're just happy to have you here. So thanks for hanging out with us. The schedule's been a little rough over the last month, and it's gonna continue that for another couple of weeks, but we'll get back to it. Real life is hard, and we I don't want to speak for everybody, but me personally, cherish every moment that we have to do this kind of thing, and we're glad that you're all here with us. Anybody want to talk about themselves for a minute? Plug anything you got going on?
The reason I'm not gonna be here for a while is because I'm gonna be playing our second season of Flames of Freedom over on Infinite RP. So for the 2 weeks that you're not gonna watch this show, you can watch 2 weeks of the show over there. We just get started next week, 8 o'clock Eastern. So you can watch that one, and other castmate Wally's in that one too. Yay! So y'all can check that out.
It's a good show.
It's a lot of fun. But I'll be back. I promise. I'll be back.
Yeah, it's a good show, and everyone should watch it. I think the first season is on their YouTube as well.
It is.
So go watch that, because
caught up.
It's good as hell. Yeah. Anybody else? All right. Well, we as a group will specifically see you on Friday. For Neon Souls, but coming out tomorrow for Squire Squad on Tabletop Tuesdays, and the rest of the week for the rest of our shows. For The Forgotten, we will see you in a couple of weeks. Never fear. The dragons, they aren't going anywhere. But until then, good game and good night, Internet.